I've spent approximately $20,000 being down bad.
Yikes. Okay, so today we're going to look at a TikToker who goes by the name Eve. And for some reason, Eve decided it was a good idea to share a series about her unsuccessful attempts at dating. Now, I don't know what inspired her to record these stories, humiliating stories, and upload it to an audience on TikTok. But for some reason, Eve has decided to create a whole series of these things, which is as worrisome as they are entertaining. Now, most of you will probably watch these clips that I'm going to show you, and it will probably cross your mind that these are probably things you would never, ever admit if they had happened to you. But I think that's what's beautiful about this. This is the era of oversharing when it comes to the internet, and I'm all here for it, dude. Let's get into it.
Just a reminder, if you're down bad, it could be worse. I once met a man on vacation playing pool. He was 22, I was 32. We had a little vacation romance for the 1 week that I was there. That really should have been where it stayed, where it started and ended. In my delusional mind, I was gonna go back home and we were gonna keep dating, which would have been fine if he wasn't 22. He had just turned from 21 to 22. Didn't live in the middle of nowhere, Montana as a ranch hand with no cell phone service and sleeping on a cot.
All right, so straight off the rip, she described this guy's living conditions as Thanos' at the end of Infinity War, where he retires because he's just committed mass genocide. I mean, this guy's living conditions sounds like a political refugee's worst nightmare. In the middle of nowhere, no phone signal. I mean, it's a kidnapper's dream location.
So given all of that, the only reasonable thing for me to do was to go see him because he clearly couldn't come see me. Didn't have the financial means or the wherewithal to know how to do that. When we left and kept texting, I thought this was going somewhere. I think he was just bored. Brenda and I planned a trip to drive back up there 4 weeks later, and we drove up to Montana through the night. Had to rent a hotel the entire time, multiple hotels, because again, couldn't stay with him on the cot at the ranch with the other 3 ranch hands. We booked a stay for a week. I think I saw him twice.
Oh my God. Let me just give you a comparison here. So she drove 15 painstaking hours, including dropping bags on hotels. Now, if you drove from the bottom of England to the top of Scotland, that would take you only around 13 hours. And she did this whilst convincing a friend to go along with her. And not only that, she did this uninvited.
It was supposed to overlap with the 4th of July and my birthday. He went to a rodeo with another girl on the 4th of July rather than hanging out with me, even though I'd driven 15 hours to come see him, and told me he didn't see this going anywhere because he wasn't really sure what he wanted to do with his life yet, which no shit. We drove the 15 hours back home to LA again through the middle of the night, slept in our car on the side of the road at one point because me and my friend were both falling asleep and didn't want to pay for another hotel. And then me and this guy proceeded to Snapchat each other for another 3 months. I re-downloaded Snapchat at the ripe old age of 32 to communicate with him.
Wait. So, this guy was caught with another girl, a younger girl. He rejected her and told her there was no chance of a future. She drove a grand total of 30 hours, which must have been humiliating as she brought her friend with her. So her friend witnessed the rejection. And she decided to still continue to Snapchat this guy for another 3 months at the ripe age of 32. And you, my guy, still can't get a text back, even after you've probably paid for dinner.
Just a reminder, if you're down bad, it could be worse. I went viral in 2023 for offering $5,000 to whoever introduced me to the man I ended up marrying. It was published in newspapers in 28 different countries. I was on approximately 8 different news shows regarding it. Sometimes they would just show up at my law firm and ask to interview me outside.
Hey, could you imagine you're fighting a serious court case and your lawyer promises you that they're going to be really dedicated to your case? Then hours later, as you're flipping through the channels, you see her there on the news talking about how desperate she is for love. I mean, her win-to-loss ratio as a lawyer must be a negative ratio.
The primetime news shows I was on, I was asked if hookup culture was the reason that I needed to pay for a man. A man from Costa Rica made a wood carving of me and sent it to me. A man from Sweden sent me 2 dozen roses. I started getting bags of prison mail, but because the only address anyone had was my law firm address, it was sent to my firm. All of these things were sent to my firm.
Can you imagine what was in that prison mail? I mean, the photo she shows you is probably the most PG out of all of them. But you know, she gave hope to people like the guy who was the caretaker in Harry Potter. And those are people you do not want to receive mail from, let alone mail that goes to your work.
Secretary would scan in all my mail and then send it to my computer, and so she would read all the letters from prison. I actually worked with a former producer from The Bachelor, Ethan Gale, on a pitch for a reality television show that would have me going from city to city with different people nominating and recommending husbands for. Dads and moms would email me pitching their own children, and through all of that I did not meet my husband. So just a reminder, if you're down bad, it could be worse. You could be published in 28 different countries' newspapers, including the back pages of a newspaper in India, for being desperate for love.
Yikes. I mean, was you only getting offers from crewmen off the Black Pearl? I mean, how do you end up empty-handed after all that attention?
Down bad, it could be worse. I've spent approximately $20,000 being down bad. These are approximations because I didn't want to go back and look up every single specific individual price, because frankly I didn't want to invest more time and energy into it. But take the approximations for what they are. It was probably more. Celestial astrologer, I saw 10 times for about $250 an appointment. Psychics, I had about 15 different appointments at about $200 an appointment. Some were more actually. Dating coach, I had 5 appointments at about $300 an appointment.
I don't know if she got her lawyer degree out of a cereal box, but none of these sound like wise decisions to be spending hundreds of dollars on. I mean, I struggle to spend, I think, $15 on travel insurance, which will actually save my life potentially. She's just spending hundreds of dollars on psychics? What?
I spent somewhere in the vicinity of $2,000 on various crystals, crystal bracelets, etc. And also 2 dream catchers that I would hang my crystals in, which I forgot to mention. The ex-boyfriend recovery program for getting your ex back, $350. The texting program for how to text a man, $100. The NFL tickets, trip, airfare, Airbnb situation, about $1,200 for him. That's not including my half of it. The engagement ring on my credit card, $7,500. The Oprah witch, $570. Oh crap, I forgot to include all the Etsy witches.
I don't even know what half of those items are that she's listed. At best, they sound like things you would use to power up a Pokemon, but I'm not sure at this point. Witches, we might be pressing into Yu-Gi-Oh! Territory. I mean, you can't be telling me that graduates can't find employment, because apparently you can be out here making thousands of dollars as an Etsy witch. This is insane.
Chalk in another like 300. Oh, there was one in England that I got twice named Tina. So maybe another like 300 to 500 there. And then all of the various potions, lotions, and love items, another 500. And that total is 19,220. But again, that's probably about 5,000 less than what I actually spent.
I mean, scam call centers must have been hitting her up once these videos went public. I mean, I honestly don't know what to make of these videos, because I can't detect any satire. But at the end of the day, I am not sure what will drive a person to admit any of these things, let alone when you're a lawyer and, critical thinking and competence are like a huge necessity in that field. But, yeah, to be honest with you, this series, she's made me laugh. I'm not really sure if Eve is ever going to find love, but I wish her well. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've all had a good laugh at the same time. But just remember, if you ever feel like you're doing things wrong in life, just know there are people like Eve who are qualified to do things that they probably shouldn't, and they still keep their sense of humor, I suppose. So, yeah, just keep smiling. I don't know how to end this video. This is bizarre as fuck.